Give questions, and you guys just shoot.
All right, so then you and Scott sit closer to that together. Scott, slide over. Scott.
Okay, we're here. No, well, this mic
I'm
is
sorry,
also
they already
stuck.
taped him to the floor now.
Yeah, this mic's also stuck too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Here you go. Or good.
the science of tape. It's like fucking putting MacGyver to shame. So yes, just the warning before the whole kerfluffle with tape and wires is if you're a fan of our films and you're a fan of our stuff in general, you know it's not the most safest of language. We're not being played on the EWTN network, that religious channel, whatever the fuck that is. So there's a little cursing. If you're offended, then you're shit out of luck. I'm sorry. Scott is known to go off in a mad rant full of colorful languages. Like some of the most colorful language he said was lavender, magenta. What other colorful language have you used?
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia. Oh, don't let him call you a fuchsia. Otherwise you're fuchsia. Now that I have you moist language. Let me not hijack the job of the panel leader here.
I think you're doing a great job.
No.
Believe me, this will be a great panel.
But
If I say two words.
You have a notebook full of stuff, so I'm dying to hear the notebook full of stuff. I hope it's not like The Notebook, the movie, that's all.
Well, in 1995, you did this one thing, and let's talk about it for an hour.
All right. I was young, I was stupid, I was alone. There was lotion in the room. What do you want me to do? Lotion on this kid.
But yeah, well, pretty much, I mean, this can be your guys' panel. You have two great personalities here. You guys can ask some questions. I guess we'll just get like a basic with you guys, you know, just a little, hey, how you doing? Just to give you guys an intro, obviously Clerks 3 is going to be coming out, as well as Mallrats 2. In case you're interested in that kind of thing.
Horseshit.
And the man to my left here, Scott, is a novelist. You have a book you just put out, which looks fantastic. You can get that in his booth. Collection of short stories. I mean, for me, it's a novel. You know, these days, you know, attention span. And he's also a musician.
Some people say
don't know
fucking
that.
Twitter is a novel. It's just chapter after chapter with millions and millions of characters. Think about it. Yeah, exactly. It's Game of Thrones.
It's all archived, too. Library of Congress archives everything on Twitter. Think about that for a second.
Really?
Yeah, all billions of tweets, they have them. Don't know what they're doing with them, but they have
Even
them.
the Lindsay Lohan shit?
Everything. Everything. Even the, I'm eating a sandwich right now, all that stuff is archived.
Now, do they archive it via subject matter, too? Like hashtags? Like, you know, like how you can
They
find stuff?
probably do. They probably do.
What a waste of government fucking money.
Yeah. No, Library of Congress. This is the Library of Congress. The library. This is
Here it
library
is.
material.
Here it is. The Republicans are all up in arms because, oh, we're funding, you know, health care for women with Planned Parenthood, but we have time to fucking hashtag archive bullshit? Where are our priorities, people?
Future generations are going to want to know what you ate for lunch.
Future generations are going to be scorched by the sun. What are you talking about? Dude, it's 80-something degrees outside, and it's like the end of September, and we're in Vermont. Don't tell me it's not climate change. It's either that or we all got really fat up here, and we buffered ourselves together for some warmth.
That's true.
Right? I know I have some insulation.
So clearly, we're going to be a pretty freewheeling, loose Q&A.
We've gotten that point. You made it 4 times. Move on to your notebook there.
Yeah, so essentially you guys can do anything. We could, you guys can ask questions about the new stuff, projects they have coming out, about stuff they've done. They've both been in Vulgar, which if you haven't seen is a fantastic film.
It's not a family film. It's not a first. Who's seen Vulgar in here? Like the unrated version. Okay, so you can explain that it's not like, hey kids, let's come and watch a movie after Thanksgiving. No, it is not that.
It's a movie about clowns. That's everyone likes clowns, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's not like, get up with Adventure Time, come watch Vulgar. No, it's not. It's not that. It's not like, hey, we had the family over for Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm so stuffed on tryptophan. Let's watch a movie. It's not that. Hey, Pop, you want to watch? No, it's not that. But it is a amazingly sick movie by the twisted mind of Brian Johnson. Any comic book men fans out there? So the big guy with the beard, Brian Johnson, he wrote, directed, and co-starred in this twisted movie called Vulgar. Which one? A portrait of you made out of dead spiders. I guess that's better than the sculpture made out of foreskins I once got. Oh, that's crossing the line? The guy had to do something. He was a rabbi. He's like, I got all these things. I thought I made a little sculpture for you. I'm giving you every one of my tips. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. What am I getting now? Now that's too edgy? I know, I can understand the guys going like, oh, that's not funny. Yes.
If you thought a sculpture of foreskins was bad, one thing, how about a portrait made out of menstrual blood?
This is getting dark.
A woman artist drew a portrait of Donald Trump using her menstrual blood.
No.
It's true. Look it up online.
All right. Thank you, Internet. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hopefully you got the hair right on that.
Yeah, really. That's true. What would they use the blonde coloring with? I'm just curious. Yes, sir. Please get us off this topic.
A Clerks game or iOS or Android app?
Funny enough, Jeff Anderson, please speak on this.
I can't because I don't know the details.
I don't either. I know Jeff Anderson was involved in an app game called Randall's Monday.
That's it, Randall's Monday.
Randall's
There's a game.
Monday. There's a game out there
Randall,
voiced by Jeff Anderson, who played Randall. Just so happens to be a character named Randall in this game. It's called Randall's Monday, and Jay Muse, I think, also makes some vocal voiceover
Right,
work.
yeah, he's in there.
So that's, I haven't played it myself, but someone has attempted that. Once again, I don't know where the rights are to stuff like this. I know Kevin has now gotten some rights to do things like, there's some action figures that are going to be made that are coming out soon of the original Jay and Silent Bob and original Dante and Randall. And there's also the Upper Deck people, the people who bring you hockey cards and baseball cards. They've decided to now branch out into the region of films. So they're coming out with a whole bunch of pop culture sets of cards, and they'll be coming out with Clerks sets of cards by next year. Yes, Captain America.
All right. I have a two-part question.
Two-part?
One's a real question, and the other one's totally self-serving and completely tongue-in-cheek.
You got it.
The first one is...
You said cheek, though, right? Tongue-in-cheek? Okay.
I saw Vulgar, I worked at Blockbuster Video. I saw it was View. I grabbed it.
Are you still collecting unemployment from the
Yeah.
Blockbuster closet? Just curious.
I watched it with my mom. It was a Yeah, I didn't know, but anyway.
Please don't tell me the tongue-in-cheek part is with your mom, please.
No, the first question is, I imagined funders had to be approached in order to afford that movie. What did the pitch look like? How do you pitch a movie like that? Like, oh, we got a clown and he goes through.
I think it was this. I think it was Brian Johnson said, "Hey Kev, can you make this movie for me? Can you fund it?" He goes, "Sure." What happened was Kevin Smith had gotten an extra deal after selling the original Clerks. He was asked to do He was signed for a 3-picture deal. He approached the Miramax with Mallrats. They passed, but then Universal said, "We'll totally make that for you." In one of the side deals that happened with Kevin and Miramax, not only did he have a 3-picture deal, but he said, "Can I also bring you smaller budget films that you'll fund?" And they're like, "Okay, we'll give you 3 other films." I think the budget was they were going to give you $80,000 per film. And so he made Vulgar, Big Helium Dog, and I forget what the third one was. Was it
Drawing Flies?
Was it Drawing Flies? Vince Pereira's Drawing Flies?
It's either Drawing Flies or A Better Place?
Better Place, one of those. And so that's how it happened, how that funding came. Kevin's like, "Well, I want to do some pet projects of smaller budget films," and that's kind of. We went over the $80,000 budget, in which then they were shopping around the idea, and that's when we brought it to the Toronto Film Festival. We're not going to fake what we had. We had the coattails of the Kevin Smith name to bring things to the edgy. They were the new edgy early 20s, hipster. Not hipster. We were Generation X back then. We were grunge kids. Kind of this is going to be the new funny, getting us into the Toronto Film Festival, and then having someone at Lionsgate really be awesome enough to see, like, yeah, as effed up as this movie. Now I'm saying effed up? What the fuck was that about? As fucked up as this movie. It's too much water. As much as as much as twisted as fucked up this movie was, someone at Lionsgate thought that there is an audience for this, and we were able to get it out there. So, yeah, it would have been funny trying to really pitch it.
Yeah, great question.
And the second part is...
This is the tongue-in-cheek part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clerks 3 or future movies, how does one become an extra?
How does one become an extra? The best way to do is to follow Kevin, because he puts out when he's looking for people. We're going to be shooting in the town south of Philadelphia area for Mallrats 2. That's the next Kevin Smith film, is Mallrats 2 or Mallrats 2. I don't know what he's decided on yet. Most likely, last time he was in Philadelphia, and to be honest with you, the largest casting house in Philadelphia is one called Heery Casting, Heery casting.com. There's the site that you want to go. Anybody who lives in that area, or not even, if you want to see, there's a lot of times where they'll ask for castings for different movies. Like they just got done wrapping up a couple of months ago Creed, the new Apollo Creed Rocky movie that's coming out. And every week they were looking for literally hundreds and hundreds of extras for things, for big scenes, boxing scenes, training scenes, and stuff like that. So because we're going to be in the Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Jersey area for Mallrats 2, Heery Casting is your best bet. And follow along Kevin's Twitter feed and Instagram and every other way he can get into your body way of podcasting. And he'll eventually talk about it. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Is there going to be a Clerks 3?
The Clerks 3 script has been written. It's been in our possession for probably about 1.5 years now. We've run into some logistical issues with some of the things, so he had to postpone shooting that. And in the meantime, while he was postponing that, he went off to go shoot Yoga Hosers, which is the new film that he's doing with his own daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter and Johnny Depp as well. And it's a little bit of a spin-off of what happened with the movie Tusk. And then he's doing Moose Jaws, which I think he's filming soon in Canada somewhere. And then he's going to get into Mallrats 2. With all that being said, some of the logistics might be able to be solved that we can start shooting Clerks 3 by probably about this time next year or midsummer of next year. So trust me, I'm super duper stoked and anxious to shoot it. It's got to be the best and funniest that he's ever done, of these characters especially. I totally wish I could talk even smidgens about the script, but I signed a piece of paper that if I do, I gotta spend $3 million. And then right now I'm just a little short of cash with the $3 million penalty, so I can't say shit about it. But trust me, once it's done, you fans and people like me, even in it, are going to be super duper happy with it. It's really awesome. It's touching. It's like everything of all his films. It's very funny. It's very touching. It's very creepy in parts, and at times it's very just like, wow, this is so much more than what Kevin ever was. So it's something that I have in my safe, and I just, yeah, it's like opening up. It's like opening up that Christmas gift you want to give someone so badly, like, God, I can't wait to see their reaction when they see this, and you can't give it to them. You gotta wait for Christmas. Even though you throw hints left and right, like, like, he's awesome at doing it. So going back and seeing things that you love again, he made a great point. We were on the drive up here from New York. We were talking about the difference between film and the difference of listening to music. And, as a filmmaker, you can't take your film and travel around like a band can go and play venues, and you want to hear their hits again and again and again. And we were talking about how when we would go, when you're sitting in the living room and you put in a movie to watch again, and some people come over, they're either family members or wives or boyfriends or girlfriends saying, "You're watching that again? Why?" And it's like, well, you don't listen to, he said it perfectly. You don't listen to a song once and put away the album. Of course you want to hear it again and again and again. It's the same thing, visual medium. You find different nuances of the film and different parts of that. Like, oh, I didn't realize that in the back of the store there's a thing of dildos. I didn't realize that. Now they're going to go and try to watch this. Is there really? Totally putting a fake Easter egg in there. So it's that type of thing where I'm glad that I'm a part of something that people find and love to death. I mean, Rachel here came over to my table today and she's like, I love you. You have no idea. I'm so happy you're here. Yeah, right. See, she's saying it again. Like, you have no idea. It's so awesome and stuff like that. And if I, in some weird way, can make people happy that way, that means I'm doing something right here. And it's so... And that's the arts. That's the arts in general. Like, if you can do it and touch and not harm anyone and and just be funny. It's dick and fart jokes. I get it. Or, you know, we're a little funny and vulgar and talking about menstrual blood paintings. But you know, you're chuckling and stuff like that, and that's what it is. We're not going to some movie theater shooting it up and going because we have pain or mental issues, and some of us, and if not all of us, do. But at the same time, it's something we are creatively loving that we do, and I've been blessed. We're blessed.
It really is. It's an amazing gift to be able to be part of something that touches so many people so deeply, because I feel the same way as well on the other side, and I think we're fans at heart.
Right, we're
Actors
huge
and
fanboys
musicians
of
are
other
fans.
people. See, it's the same way. When I meet other artists and stuff like, oh my God, you changed my life.
Absolutely.
You know, in different ways. When the Star Trek people, Star Wars people as well, mostly would come out, and I was just like, oh my God, you're Kenny Baker, you're fucking R2-D2. How the hell did you fit in that can, dude? You know,
Why don't you have a Mark Hamill story? Why don't you have a quick Mark Hamill?
Well, yeah, real quick, because we gotta go. We gotta sell more shit. As you know, Mark Hamill was in Jane Silent Bob Strikes Back. He was Cock Knocker, and great name. And so we're at the after party of the screening in LA. We had taken over this empty lot across from the Fox Theater in Westwood, LA. And it was a big like food truck kind of feel to the festival after party, outdoor stuff. And so I'm at a table, a high top table like this, having a drink with someone, you know, and noise going on, and I'm hearing Brian. And then I turn back and go, so it's got to be hundreds of Brians. There's Brian Johnson's there. There's tons. No, Brian. I turn, and it's Mark Hamill, and he's going. And I literally did the cliche movie thing. I'm like. And he was like, yeah. And so then I was just like in my head, I'm like, holy shit, Luke Skywalker's summoning me over. It was like he was using a Jedi mind trick, like, and I was just like, so I was just, and then when I finally got over there, it's like, Brian, this is my son so-and-so, he's a huge fan of yours. I was like, oh, thank you so much, like, great job. And I was just like, yeah, you were great cock knocker? And so it's that type of moment where I'll never forget that. I mean, that same party, Quentin Tarantino's there, and he's disheveled, and he's in just like a t-shirt, and he's in shorts, and he's chowing down on this food truck burger. And I was like, hey, Brian, man, great job. And I was just like, hey, man, it's Quentin fucking Tarantino. And I go, hey, yeah, it's the stupidest, the common LA question. So, but what are you working on? And he was like, oh, I just got done writing a new script I was working on for about 4 or 5 months now, and oh yeah, oh all right, cool. What's the title of it? Because I'm not ready to talk about that anyway. I'm like, no, that's cool, man, that's cool. It's like, you finished that burger? Yeah, man, thanks. I walked away, and then months later, come to find out, he had just finished writing Kill Bill 1 and 2. Yeah. So not only would I have been chowing down on that burger, I'd be like, get me someone to blow me right now because I'm exhausted. I need some help. He probably did, we couldn't see it at that time. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out.
Thank you guys so much. I want to encourage you guys to come to both these guys' booths. They're going to be here all weekend, talking about a bunch of stuff. So much we didn't get to cover. There's a lot about both these guys. His theater background, Brian has been doing theater for a long time now, and maybe you guys don't know that.
Still do, yep.
Yeah, you're in theater productions in New Jersey still.
I was. I just got done with a production of A Few Good Men, so that was a lot of fun. And